Welcome back everyone, Emily Gauvin here. Today I'll be showing you how to make your very own bandana hat, which is different from the bandana scarf. Let me show you. Ta-da! As you can see, this was also inspired for Pokemon Sun and Moon's Team Skull Grunts. Specifically, I had in mind the Male Grunt. So once again, if you wish to purchase this pattern, it'll be available in both my Etsy and Craftsy store, and you will find the links to both stores in my description box below. This is the second video to a 3-part series in which I am showing you how to make various accessories inspired from Team Skull Grunts. So once again, I hope this will be useful to everyone. Good luck with your projects, and let's move on to the tutorial.
To begin with, here are the pieces included in my sewing pattern: the centerpiece, the side pieces, and the long band. Because the fabric I am using is rather thin, I've decided to interface all my pieces. This allows the fabric to keep its shape by stiffening it. The first thing you'll need to do is sew the dart of the centerpiece. Align the edges right side to right side and sew at 1 cm from the edge to nothing 3 mm below the punch hole. Instead of backstitching, I keep sewing after reaching my punch hole, which allows the thread to tangle. I leave a few millimeters in length, and this prevents it from ever unraveling. Here's what the centerpiece looks like after the dart has been sewn. Next, we'll be assembling the side pieces to the centerpiece. Align your edges right side of the fabric to right side of the fabric and sew at 1 cm, making sure to align your notches as you go. For a clean finish, overlock all your seam allowances, including your dart. Take your seam allowances from your side piece and centerpiece, fold them to one side, and top stitch it into place. I personally prefer using a long stitch for top stitching. You should have a U-shaped edge at the back, which we now need to bias tape. You can either buy bias tape or make it yourself. Place your bias tape along the edge and sew at whatever length your bias tape is. Preferably, you'd want your tape to be 5 mm wide or less. For rounded edges, smaller bias tapes tend to give better results. Cut it to the desired length. Afterwards, your bias tape should fold in. You then need to top stitch it into place. Since the back fold is usually longer, it catches into your top stitch without fret. Here's what it looks like. Next, we'll be attaching the long band around the hat. Align your edges, right side of the fabric to right side of the fabric, making sure to align your notches. You can use pins to help the band stay in place. Sew from one end to the other at 1 centimeter from the edge. Here's what it should look like once it's done. Take your second long band and start pinning it right side to the one already attached to the hat. The trick here is you'll be sewing all around with the exception of the area where the first band was attached to the hat. See here, I am stopping my stitch before overlapping the bias tape. You will now take your seam allowance and fold towards the long band we've already attached and top stitch it into place. Your stitch should be about 3 millimeters from your seam. You won't be able to top stitch the whole seam allowance, so you simply need to do the section where the opening is. Just like in the previous tutorial, cut little triangles in the areas that round out, the tip of your point, and cut notches into the areas that round in. Then you can proceed to turning the long band inside out. Take your hat to the ironing board and iron the ends of the long band flat. When you get to the open area, fold in the edges of the inner long band by 1 cm and iron it into place. The idea is that when you top stitch the long band, it should be catching the back part as well. So I suggest pinning it into place if it can help. Top stitch the open area shut by using the outer edge as visual reference to keep your stitch nice and straight. Again, I'm using a longer stitch here. Here's what it looks like once it's done. All we're missing is our cute little eye design at the front. First, let me introduce you to the double-sided adhesive that is Heat and Bond. I buy mine at Fabricville, but I suggest looking in any local fabric or craft store to find some. Otherwise, it is also available online. First, start by tracing your eye design onto the matted side of the Heat and Bond. Make sure to set your pattern right side down before tracing it. I'm actually tracing 2 sets for an upcoming tutorial. Cut around your tracings, making sure to leave some excess around the design. Iron your cutout Heat and Bond onto your fabric. Follow the instructions provided with the product for this part. Now it's time to cut out the shapes. You will help prevent your edges from fraying thanks to the glue from the Heat and Bond. Now that we have our shapes cut out, it's time to attach them to the hat. For extra precaution, I ironed them out one more time. Remove the plastic sheet and place them onto your hat before ironing them into place. And that's it for today. Here's what the final results look like.
Hope everyone enjoyed that. If it was useful to you and you liked it, please give it a big thumbs up. If you would like more cool tutorials and cosplay related content, please subscribe. Once again, the pattern to this hat will be available in both my Etsy and Craftsy store, which are in the description box below. And if you wish to find more cool stuff, you can check out all my other social media. And just a reminder that the giveaway is still going on, so if you wish to get your own hat like this one and your very own bandana scarf like this one, please check out the links in the description box below. So until next time, good luck with your projects. Bye!